Welcome to Ecuador Homestead, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you how to kill ringworm instantly. Keep watching. Now, what is ringworm? Some people may be wondering. Ringworm basically is a fungus that grows on your skin and it's a ring. Now, some people thought that it was actually, at the beginning, it was a worm inside, but they discovered as they began researching it that it was actually no worm inside, but rather it was just a fungus, and so they just kept the name. So now, with a small recap of what ringworm is, let's continue. First, I want to say disclaimer, this is not by no means medical advice. I'm just showing you what I know, my own experience from killing ringworm and the experience of others that I've learned around here in Ecuador. Now, about a year ago, I made a video on how to kill ringworm instantly, and I got lots of views. A lot of people asked questions, and a lot of people gave me advice. So I decided to come back in and do another video kind of recapping everything, all the questions, and all of the tips that people gave me in the comments. So please note that stay till the end of the video because I'm going to be answering lots of questions you may have after the end of this video. Also, one thing I want to recommend is if you have sensitive skin, I really do not recommend you doing any of these practices. If you're really still urged and trying to get rid of ringworm, I recommend maybe the last one, the third recommendation, how to get ringworm, but the other two, I do not recommend those under any circumstances if you have sensitive skin. I would also like to recommend that you do the practice that you're going to choose, one of the three practices I'm going to show you, on a baby ringworm first, and then if you're happy with it, move on to the healing and curing the bigger ringworms that you have on you. That goes for if you have sensitive skin or not. Now let's get into all three of these ways are going to be based on using garlic. So just thought I'd let that you know. The first way you can kill ringworm with garlic is by just chopping up garlic and applying it directly to the ringworm. So my dad has actually done this, and some of my siblings has actually done this, and my dad actually had one really big ringworm on him. It was really big, huge. It was about this big on his arm, and he put garlic on it, and it killed it within 8 hours. Really quick. However, there's a few things you need to keep in mind with this method. The first thing you need to keep in mind is that it's going to burn really bad when you put the garlic on the ringworm. It's going to sting really bad, it's going to hurt, so this may not be a very good way for a child to do this. And it's also going to leave a nasty scar that most people don't want to really deal with. It can even leave a bubble blister or even worse, and so I don't recommend that at all, really. You can do this, but it's not a recommended method. If you are going to do this, I recommend chopping the garlic up, taking it and putting it on your skin, wrapping something around it, and then after you wrap something around it, let it sit for 2 hours, no longer after that. I used to say that it would be okay to do it for 8 hours, but it can cause more damage than needed if you do it for like 8 hours. The only reason we want to put garlic on there is to kill the fungus, and that is it. Again, this isn't recommended for anybody that has sensitive skin, and even if you don't have sensitive skin, there's a good chance you'll still get a bad blister. So this may not be the best way for you or anybody unless you're really wanting to just get rid of the ringworm right away. I don't recommend trying this first practice on your face or on any of your sensitive areas because, as I mentioned, it can leave a bad blister, and you probably don't want that on your face or on any of your sensitive areas. Remember, if you use this first practice, it's going to get rid of the ringworm pretty quickly. It's going to be done. Once you do this, it's gone. And that's the only reason I actually talk about this first tip. Otherwise, if it didn't get rid of it instantly, it wouldn't be worth talking about because it just leaves you with a bad blister, and there's no other reason to use it because there's so many other better ways I'm about to show you that you can do it. But now let's move on to the second way you can get rid of ringworm. Now, the second way is somewhat similar to the first way, how you get rid of ringworm with garlic. And that is by basically just cutting up garlic and placing it onto the ringworm for about 10 minutes, then taking it off, and maybe after another hour, putting it back on, and doing that until it basically has gone away. I would just do it maybe 2 to 3 days, put it on, take it back off for an hour, put it on, take it back off. And then that will basically slowly kill the ringworm, but not hopefully leave you with as bad as a burn, and hopefully heal quicker and not leave a scar. However, I still don't recommend this second practice to be for people that have sensitive skin, or for you to put it on your face or any of your sensitive areas. Now the third way you can kill ringworm with garlic is by using a garlic salve. And this is the way I recommend the most, especially for people that have sensitive skin. With this method, you're basically diluting the garlic and kind of making it not as potent as it really is, because it is very potent and very strong, and that's why it has the ability to kill so many funguses so hard. Basically, you're diluting it so it just won't go through and just blister your skin. And so you probably, if you don't have sensitive skin, you probably could get away with doing it on your face, but I still don't recommend doing it in any of your sensitive areas. Personally, that's just me. Now, if you do have sensitive skin, I wouldn't recommend putting it on your face either, so stay clear of that too. Now, you're probably wondering how to make garlic salve. Well, I have a YouTube card above. Go ahead and click on that YouTube card above, or link in the description. That will lead you to a video I made a little bit ago, about 2 months ago, and that basically shows you how to make a garlic salve. And then once you've made this garlic salve, all you really have to do is just take the salve and rub it on the ringworm, and that will basically kill it. You just have to slowly do it a little bit every day and just keep on top of it, just like you use the cream. The only thing different with the cream and this garlic salve is that the garlic salve is stronger, which is going to kill it faster. Sometimes, in some cases, the cream doesn't work at all and doesn't kill it at all, but this garlic salve will. Which is why I recommend using the garlic salve the most than all the other 2 recommendations of ways to kill ringworm. This is the slowest, but I think it'll keep you from getting a blister. The other ways you may get a slight blister, the second way you may get a slight blister, and the first way you're probably definitely going to get a blister, especially if you have sensitive skin. Now I'm going to answer a few questions you may have after watching this video, so just stick around. The first question you may be asking, if you got a blister and you're trying to figure out how to heal it, you're probably wondering what to put on the blister to help it heal. Well, a simple garlic oil would do, or even some honey, just ointment, something of that type is fine. But in general, you just want to let your body heal the blister. In about 2 to 3 weeks, the blister should be gone, depending on how severe the blister was. In the previous ringworm video, some people asked how many times they should apply the garlic to kill the ringworm. Well, that kind of really depends on which way you decide to heal the ringworm. If you do it the first way, the second way, or the third way. If basically the idea here is that the first way you just want to apply it once. The second way, you probably want to do that for 3 days. Just put it on for 10 minutes, take it off for an hour, as I explained before. And the third way, you're looking at probably about a week to 2 to 3 weeks to basically keep that ringworm salve on. Garlic salve on the ringworm. Obviously, you're waiting until you find no sign of any ringworm. There was also some people in that previous ringworm video asking if they could pop the bubble blister that had occurred after putting on the on the garlic. That's not really recommended, because once you pop it, basically there's skin under it that's just forming, and it's basically going to be raw flesh, so I don't recommend popping it because it's going to hurt really bad. Eventually, it's just going to pop on its own, so don't worry about it. You're also probably wondering, what if the ringworm comes back and I have already a blister from using, let's say, the first or second way? What should I do to go about it? Should I go in and put garlic on it again? My recommendation for that is to just go in and use the salve and just try to put it on there until it looks like the ringworm is dead. Again, you can find out how to make the salve and a link in the YouTube card above. There were some people that were also saying that they got a blister that turned black after applying the garlic to the ringworm. And so what would I do in that case? Well, I would recommend that I would probably say that you have sensitive skin, and that you probably shouldn't use the first and second recommendation how to kill ringworm. You should use the last one, and if that happens, then you probably shouldn't do it at all. If you get a blister on your skin, you shouldn't do it at all. But basically, I recommend at the beginning of this video that you should try on a baby ringworm, ringworm, and then and if that goes good, then try it on a bigger one. Basically, if you've already done it, the recommendation is just to let it heal, put ointment on it, whatever, and just let it heal. The next question is, what should you do if dots start showing up around the general area you put garlic on? Some people are having that problem as well with the garlic. And so I just recommend, again, like I said, starting with a small baby ringworm first, putting the garlic on that, trying it, make sure it works first. If it works good, do that, obviously, that's great, and then you can continue. However, if you've already done it and you see these dots everywhere, I would recommend stopping, or do the very last recommendation in how to cure ringworm, and don't do any of the other two. And if you still have a problem with that, then again, stop that and don't do it. You'll have to go to your doctor for the way to heal that. Now, when me and my family got ringworm, we actually got it from a cat. And some people actually probably got it from a cat as well, and probably wondering, what should you do if you have ringworm on a cat and how to heal it? Well, this is probably not the best recommendation you probably want to hear, but basically what we had to do when we found out it was the cat that was the problem, that was the source of all the ringworm we were getting, we actually had to get rid of the cat. And so hopefully you didn't fall in love with that kitty cat, because it's very hard to treat a kitty cat that has ringworm. You're definitely not going to be putting garlic on that cat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, make sure to comment below and make sure to give your advice and maybe feedback on what you thought about this video. And if you've tried garlic with ringworm, give us feedback on how it worked. I would really like to know. Ask questions. I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. And yeah. And if you didn't like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs down. Just make sure to hit it twice, just to make sure. And I'll see you next time on Homestead. Bye.